It is often said that everything that happens in life happens for a good reason. But do we truly believe that? Let me share a story that might help you understand this truth better. Once, in a dense and tranquil forest, where the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets, a young man came running to a wise sage. Tears streamed down his face, and his body trembled with despair. The sage, calm and composed, gently placed his hand on the young man's shoulder and asked, "What troubles you, my child? Why are you so upset?" The young man, choking on his words, said, "A great injustice has been done to me. Thieves attacked me in the forest and stole everything I had. Now I have nothing left, no way to return home, no hope. My life is ruined." The sage listened intently and smiled softly, "Do not worry, my son. Whatever has happened, happened for a good reason." Hearing this, the young man grew angry. "How can you say that? This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. How can losing everything be good for me?" The sage, unshaken, replied, "Let me tell you a story to help you understand." And so, the sage began, "Once upon a time, in a faraway village, there lived a farmer with his wife and young son. They didn't have much, just a small house and a little grain to last the season. One day, a terrible storm struck the village, destroying everything in its path. The farmer's house, crops, and grain were all washed away. The farmer sat on the ground in despair and cried, 'How will we survive now? This is the end for us.' But his young son, ever optimistic, said, 'Father, don't lose hope. Whatever happens, happens for a good reason.' The farmer, overwhelmed with grief, shouted in anger, 'How can this be good? We've lost everything.' In his frustration, he pushed his son out of the house and said, 'Leave. You're no longer my son.' Heartbroken, the boy left the house. Days turned into weeks as the farmer and his wife struggled to survive. One day, the wife suggested, 'Why don't you go to the city and find work? Maybe we can start over.' Reluctantly, the farmer agreed. He traveled to the city and searched for work tirelessly. Time after time, doors closed on him, and he grew more and more discouraged. Just when he was about to give up, he met a kind merchant who offered him a job and a place to stay. Years passed, and through hard work, the farmer rebuilt his life. Then, one day, there was a knock at his door. When the farmer opened it, he was stunned. Standing before him was his son, now a grown man, smiling with pride. "Father," the son said, "it's me. After you sent me away, I went to the city. Life wasn't easy at first, but I worked hard, learned business, and eventually built my own company. I've come to take you and Mother to live with me. I've even bought a new house for us." The farmer was overcome with joy and hugged his son tightly. Tears streamed down his face as he said, "You were right, my son. If the storm hadn't come, if I hadn't sent you away, none of this would have happened. Truly, everything happens for a reason." The sage finished the story and looked at the young man. "Do you see, my child? Life sometimes takes away what we hold dear, only to replace it with something far greater. It is a test that makes us stronger." The sage then handed the young man a small, shiny stone and said, "Here, take this. I found it in the forest, and it might help you." The young man looked at the stone closely and realized it was no ordinary stone, it was rare and valuable. The sage smiled and said, "Had you not lost your belongings, you wouldn't have met me, and I wouldn't have given you this stone. Take it to the city, and it will help you rebuild your life." With newfound hope and gratitude, the young man left the forest, carrying the precious stone that could change his fate. Life is full of unexpected challenges, and at times, it may feel like everything is falling apart. But remember, every event, good or bad, is part of a larger plan that we may not immediately understand. Difficult moments often pave the way for greater opportunities and hidden blessings. Patience, faith, and resilience are the keys to navigating life's hardships. Even when things seem impossible, hold on, because what feels like a setback today might just be the foundation for a brighter tomorrow.